A letter was written and people still have not reacted to that letter, not understanding the intent of that letter. Some have maintained the concept of neutrality or Makame, as a matter of fact, or Mavikaine, because that is how we have not degenerated to as a people, that or Makame. But I'm a student of history, a very good student of history. During the reign of Escalation, Olia and some other chiefs of Benin Kingdom had conspired against the throne. They went to invite the Ata of the Gala and all of that. Benin almost lost their throne. But after we came out victorious, Olia and I realized that Ageu Ewedwe Neduya Bien Lunda Yemahe or Yemayiri there agamwedu boto karimaya no baya yin yedu amu boto. In other words,
ni mama kadam degwa menegwa yeri o yeye. These are relics of past history. So because I understand this, I try to tell them that okay, hama. So the pain is that we eventually have what I have warned them of, Ogile Sunu. They are deserving of the suspension. Because when you commit a treasonable offense, there must be a penalty. Or money.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to FO's blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. The genesis of the crisis that led to the suspension of Enigie, dukes, in Benin Kingdom by the Oba of Benin. The dispute between the Oba of Benin Palace and Oba Siki's government began with the contentious issue of ownership over ancient Benin artifacts looted from the palace of the Oba of Benin during the 1897 Benin massacre by British colonial forces. The federal government issued a gazette for the recognition of ownership and custody of the repatriated Benin artifacts to Oba of Benin, Oba Elwahe II. This was done to end the dispute between the Benin monarch and the state government over the rightful custodian of the artifacts. This was done through a government notice number 25 in the Federal Republic of Nigeria Official Gazette number 57, volume 110, dated March 28, 2023. This angered Oba Siki and vowed to revenge the defeat by the Oba of Benin. Oba Siki did not give up. He was looking for a way to undermine the authority of the Oba of Benin. He wrote a letter to the Oba, signed by another evil-minded person like him, Osoroti Oge, secretary to the Edo state government for the creation of Edo South Traditional Councils, after he received a letter from the Enigie for a proposed new traditional councils in Edo South. The letter to the state government dated November 20, 2022, a move that the Benin Traditional Council strongly opposed. This is a letter written by the Benin Traditional Council in reply to the Oba Siki's Enigie letter. The letter reads. The statement read as follows. Clarification on the structure of the Benin Traditional Institution. It has come to the attention of the Benin Traditional Council, the only competent traditional council in all the 7 local government areas of Edo South Senatorial District, that there is a complete misunderstanding of the true structure of the traditional institution of the Benin Kingdom and invariably the Benin Traditional Council. For the avoidance of doubt, the Benin Traditional Council, BTC, wishes to clarify as follows. 1. That the Oba of Benin is the sole traditional ruler in the whole 7 local government areas constituting Edo South Senatorial District, that is to say in Areldo, Agor, Ikpoba Orca, or via Southwest, or via Northeast, Orion 1, and Huhumwandii local government areas of Edo State. 2. That all other traditional title holders in the entire 7 local government areas of Edo South Senatorial District aforementioned are no more than chiefs appointed by the Oba of Benin. 3. That in particular, the Enigie in the entire 7 local government areas of Edo South are classified as chiefs and not traditional rulers. 4. That in the said 7 local government areas of Edo South Senatorial District, the Enigie are chiefs representing the Oba of Benin in the various communities or domains to which they are sent. 5. That all the Enigie are required to relate with the Oba of Benin through the palace chiefs of the Oba being the traditional channel of communication, unless waived by the Oba. 6. That this age-long traditional hierarchy is undisputed and fully captured under Benin customary law, which is also affirmed and declared in the Traditional Rulers and Chief Edict 1979, as applicable in Edo State. See in particular second schedule at page A128 to page A139 of the edict. In light of the foregoing, we firmly advise the general public to take notice of this traditional structure of the Benin Traditional Council and disregard the misinformation being spread about the status of traditional title holders in the Benin Kingdom. Dated this 29th day of August, 2023. Signed, Professor Yelmi Akinseye George, San, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Professor Eldoba Amohegie, San, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Solicitors to the Benin Traditional Council. However, the state government led by Godwin Obaseki and Osirodian Oghe went ahead to create Edo South Traditional Councils. The letter from the Edo state government reads, Edo State Government, August 11, 2023. Traditional rulers to get monthly allowance to administer domains, as Edo government implements 1979 law on local council administration. Oba of Benin remains permanent chair of Edo State Traditional Council of Obas Chiefs. The Edo State Government Executive Council has approved the implementation of a 1979 law on local council administration, which translates to a new regime where all traditional rulers in the 18 local government areas of the state will receive monthly allowances to administer their domains. The decision was reached at the Executive Council meeting held in Government House, Benin City. The council resolved that there would be a traditional council in each local government area across the state's 18 local councils. In the law, the Oba of Benin remains the permanent chairman of the Edo State Traditional Council of Obas and Chiefs and also the permanent chairman of the Benin Traditional Council. The Benin Traditional Council is the umbrella body of Edo South Traditional Council. The allowance will enable the traditional rulers in the local government council areas to perform their statutory roles, such as ensuring social cohesion and peace, traditional vigilance and harmonious living across various communities. The Edo Exco re-emphasized that the Omo Noba Nido Okuai Polatpolo, the Oba of Benin, Oba El Wahe II, remains the permanent chairman of the Edo State Traditional Council of Obas and Chiefs as well as permanent chairman of the Umbrella Council in Edo South Senatorial District. It also stressed that the budget and funding of the Benin Traditional Council will be completely independent of the financing which goes to all other traditional council of the various local government areas in the state. The Executive Council noted that with the development, the various traditional rulers across local government areas will now be able to optimally perform their roles within their domains, working with other relevant stakeholders to maintain peace and order and accelerate grassroots development. The new structure will also help to deepen governance in the grassroots, enable government connect more with the people, get feedback on their needs and also identify and support the poorest of the poor in local and hard-to-reach communities across the state. Signed, Osirodian Oghe, Secretary to Edo State Government. Office of the Secretary to the State Government House, PMB 1080, Benin City, Edo State. In the letter I just read, the state government repeatedly lays emphasis that the Oba of Benin remains the permanent chair of Edo State Traditional Council of Obas and Chiefs. Let's listen to Mr. Rizadawa as he explains the real intention of Obaseki's letter.
The letter was written and people still have not reacted to that letter, not understanding the intent of that letter. Some have maintained the concept of neutrality or Makame, as a matter of fact, or Mavikaine, because that is how we have not degenerated to as a people. That Omar Kaiman. But I'm a student of history, a very good student of history. During the reign of Oba Escalation, Olia and some other chiefs of Benin Kingdom had conspired against the throne. They went to invite the Ata of the Gala and all of that. Benin almost lost their throne. But after we came out victorious, Olia and I realized that Agewu Ewedui Neduya Bien Lunda Yemahe or Yemayiri there Agamwedu Boto Kalimaya no Bayani Yedu Amu Boto. In other words, if Olia had succeeded in the orchestration that he had at that time of the reign of Oba Escalation, there would have been Olia today. During the British invasion in 1897, because Prince Idubowa was not really liked by some chiefs, so they had favored his younger brother, Prince Ohoro. So they wanted him to be the Oba, but eventually their skirmishes failed, and eventually Prince Idubowa eventually became Oba over Obasi. During the British invasion in 1897, as the war was about to start, some chiefs rejected to be part of that war. They were very neutral. Yana Kyobore, Yana Omakaima, Mosyoku, notably was the Ezomor of that time. He was supposed to be the warlord. But after the British had succeeded in invading and capturing Benin, Ezomor realized that they had made an immortal mistake. Today, the Ezomor of Benin, even a councillor, a colonial created government of councillor, local government, a local councillor in ward level, or even a local councillor has more say and power in the decision making of the state more than the Ezomor. Ezomor has always been the worthiest of all Benin nobles. But today, what becomes the fate of the Ezomor? Omanari Naya in 1897, Anaya with Beho. Today, and I hear a lot of Benins are saying that let us bacanize the kingdom. Let us bacanize the kingdom. I laugh. Izoruwa, for the first time in 7 years, will fold his hands and not say anything. But before I fold my hands and not say anything, I have to say the peace of my mind. And I have to interpret the letter. Omanawi na ya uho aga ma egegase a eduga yini hanare that Omanawi na ya uho anaya will be mako. Those who believe in the principle of sitting neutrality, those who believe in, that's why I have gone into my shell. I don't go for any of these Benin platforms and interact with them. I get invited, but I don't go. The reason is just very simple, because it is only a hariya dokungu edunagogo ana ye obari ana ye dori ana yo hage dori ana ye ilele mi oge dori a hariya dokungu. But a hasi yo sege na do I know one will see me sege na do moya dori not concerning. As a matter of fact, you're not concerning. As a matter of fact, because I am tired. I have been misconstrued. A lot of persons are going to see this video. I also want to start another crisis. No, I'm not starting another crisis. I just want to interpret what was written on that letter. The letter emphasizes that the Oba of Benin is a permanent chairman of a State Traditional Council. Why? Why would the letter emphasizes on a known fact? Oba of Benin, right from the days of the Midwest states to the Bender state, have always been permanent chairman to the creation of Edo State. And there has never been any time that he was challenged or anadwiko. So why is the present state government emphasizing that he remains the permanent chairman? It's a ruse. Like I always say, I pay attention to details and I understand the intent of a thing 1,000 miles. He wants to allow the Edo people see what they want to see, But the content of the letter is to deviate the attention of the true people who still love. A lot of Edo people don't love the kingdom anymore. I understand. I don't know the statistics. But for some who still believe in our traditional institution as the only institution that God naturally gave us, not the colonial institution that is now called government, that still believe. I want them to go read the letter over again and understand the intent behind the letter. These are full things that must be drawn out of the letter. That 18 local government traditional rulers. What that means is that from the 1979 Gazette, the Benin Kingdom, which is Edo South Senatorial District of Edo State, has only one traditional ruler. So it is one traditional ruler that administers over the 7 local governments that makes Edo South. So every other title holders in Edo South, within the sphere of Edo South, by 1979 Gazette, is regarded as a traditional chief by law. It's not his own word that said it. Go to the 1979 edit, is there. All right, it is there. So when the state government now refer that 18 local government traditional rulers, it therefore means that they have an intention of creating 6 extra traditional rulers in addition to the Oba of Benin, making it 7. Why? When the 1979 Gazette, when the 1979 law was being gazetted, they understand that every of that title under Benin Kingdom, which is the Edo South Senatorial District, we are an offshoot from the Oba of Benin. So there is no need equating them to the Oba of Benin. The concept of Ayamiobe Valedo by that State Executive Council meeting has been defeated. We will now have 7 traditional rulers. They might not be in status equated to the Oba of Benin, but they have an autonomous or an autonomy that is different from the Oba of Benin. He also emphasizes that the Oba of Benin remains the permanent chairman of the Benin Traditional Council or the Edo South Traditional Council. At what time would the Enigie have contested with the Oba of Benin that is not their father or is not their permanent chairman? Why was the state government re-emphasizing a fact that is known to the blind and to the deaf? That is because they wanted you to see the rules and not the intent. What is the difference between Benin Traditional Council and Edo South Traditional Council? It's the same thing. Benin Traditional Council covers the 7 local governments that makes Edo South. The Edo South Traditional Councils covers the 7 local governments that make an Edo South. Why create a true council that has the same function? The reason is very simple, because there is an intent from the letter to wisp away the kingdom, to dwindle down, to reduce the power of the Oba of Benin, so that people, that the respective traditional rulers that will now be created in this respective local government council within Edo South will have a strong sense of autonomy. A strong sense of autonomy is a divided Benin Kingdom, but it is a game to have Edo South loyalty wished from the Oba of Benin and given to political leaders. Because when these people's fates are not being determined by the government, the Edo State government, so they will have their loyalty to Edo State government and not to the Oba of Benin. And that is why I said the orchestration has always been to dwindle down and reduce the power of the Oba of Benin, to serve the interest of political leaders. I never said that. That is what the letter said. The letter that said about financial implications so that money can get down and all of that. I have no bad intentions about that. Get this very clear. In the 1979 Gazette, Section 7, it clearly states that the state government does not even need a House of Assembly to effect the creation of local government council as he pleases. So by the virtue of the state executive council meeting held, it therefore means that the local government councils have been created. So let nobody mistake anybody. The law has always, from 1979, empowered the governor to create local government councils right from inception. So this is not a matter of he has no right to create it. This is a matter of the law has already empowered any state government. If other state government decided not to do it, it's because they have respect for the Benin monarch. But if this current state government wishes to do it, that is because he has disrespect for the Benin monarch. But for the level of whether it has a right or doesn't have the right, it has every right. And like I said, this is not a video to fight anybody. I have no interest in this fight. My intention about this video is to explain that letter, and is to also say woe to the Edo people who have kept quiet. For the Edo people who now feels that the current occupants of the Benin show probably have stepped on wrong toes or probably had wronged them, blah, blah, blah. Because of that, the throne must go down. It therefore means what they are saying is that if I hate the current governor of Edo State, what it means is that Edo State government should go down, so there should not be any state government in Edo State. I cannot choose an institution of 2061 years for my selfish reason and choose an institution less than 60 years over an institution that is 2061 years old. With the way we are going as a people, we'll wake up one morning and not have that cherished heritage that we have always been proud of. And that will not be because of one state government was powerful, but because we failed to speak at the time when we needed to speak. We failed to remain neutral when it was not convenient. I always say, I've said it, because you don't like the present, because you don't like Obayewa II does not mean you have to destroy the throne that it occupies. I protect the throne. It is what I have always represented. If you destroy the throne, what becomes the future? But it doesn't matter anymore. I will not make the hustle for our own daily hustle, our own daily food. So it don't matter. Which, according to some of the according to some of them, what has been I don't know how to answer that question. So that is what has now become. That is how some Benin people have not had a modern day orientation. It has now depleted to that level. It is not our thought. So we have to now destroy the legacy of our heritage, because we now think we now have free data. We have the opportunity to speak ill of an institutions that we could ordinarily come out together and find a way we can reshape it to favor everybody. But we want to destroy it because it's no longer convenient for us, or we feel that it has outlived. I've met some elites, I don't want to mention their names, that say that I think the monarch has outlived. That's what one of them told me. The monarch has outlived its usefulness. Well, may they also outlive the usefulness to their family. For those who say the monarch has outlived his usefulness to the Edo people, may they also outlive the usefulness they have to this world and to their family.
Nevertheless, the Benin Traditional Council challenged the creation of Edo South Traditional Councils in court. The letter from the Benin Traditional Council challenging the creation of the Edo South Traditional Council in court reads. Let's read the document. Benin Enigie challenges the creation of traditional councils in Edo South. The Enigie and Edo South Senatorial District have challenged the decision of the Edo State Executive Council led by the Governor of the state, His Excellency, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, to create traditional councils in each of the 7 local government areas of Edo South Senatorial District. The affected local government areas are Areldo Local Government Area, Orvia Northeast Local Government Area, Orvia Southwest Local Government Area, Agor Local Government Area, Huhumodiai Local Government Area, Orion 1 Local Government Area and Ipoba, Orca Local Government Area of Edo State. In suit No. B/187/2023 filed at the High Court of Justice, Edo State, the Enigie acting as representatives of the Benin Traditional Council asserts that the decision of the Governor-in-Council violates the age-long tradition of the Benin people which stipulates that the Oba of Benin is the sole traditional ruler of the entire Benin Kingdom which is the territory of Edo South Senatorial District and the said 7 local government areas. Consequently, they contend that the attempt by the government to create traditional councils in the areas amounts to balkanizing the Benin Kingdom, as there can be no other traditional ruler in the kingdom to warrant creation of traditional councils in the affected local government areas. They therefore pray the High Court of Edo State to declare the action of the state government as in conflict with the Benin customary law and the extant traditional rulers and chiefs edict, 1979 applicable in Edo State, which clearly affirms the sole traditional rulership of the Oba of Benin in the Benin Kingdom, as well as the sole competence of the Benin Traditional Council in the entire 7 local government areas of Edo South. Hearing in the motion on notice filed in the suit to restrain the Governor of Edo State, among other defendants, is fixed for Tuesday, September 5, 2023. However, the Benin Traditional Council suggested a plan to Obaseki's government for the amicable resolution of the conflicts between the Edo State government and the Benin Traditional Institution, stating that the federal government had settled the artifact ownership matter in favor of the palace. Benin Traditional Council, through the Inyazar of Benin and other representatives of the Oba Palace, made numerous efforts to persuade the state government from its plan, arguing that it would fragment the Benin Kingdom and undermine the authority of the Oba of Benin. The reason Obaseki decided to balkanize Benin Kingdom was that he could not get the Benin artifacts, hence he vowed to destroy Benin Traditional Institution. Despite all efforts to calm him down, the state government proceeded to establish new traditional councils across the 7 local government areas in Edo South, prompting the Benin Tradition Council to challenge the decision in the state high court. The state government also withheld the statutory financial entitlements due to the Benin Traditional Council. We at Etho's blog will keep saying that half of the wickedness or evil done to Benin Kingdom by Godwin Obaseki has never been told. The conflict took another dimension when the state governor, Godwin Obaseki, welcomed some Enigie, including those suspended by Oba of Benin for violating traditional norms. Obaseki's government had the temerity to tell the National Assembly that they cannot stop them not to create the new traditional councils, and the creation of the new traditional council is final. At the same time, 2 suspended Enigie, Egbi and Saluko and Ebwobanosa dukedoms respectively, by the Oba of Benin, filed a joint lawsuit to contest their suspensions. They went further to say in their lawsuit that it is only the state governor, Godwin Obaseki, has the right to suspend them. Amid these tensions, the Edo state government issued a notice to revoke the concession of the Oba Ekenzua, the second cultural center from Oba of Benin Palace, subsequently converted the complex to a motor park. The BTC, Benin Traditional Council, were willing to resolve the conflict amicably but laid out clear conditions for this to happen. Abolition of the new traditional councils in Edo South, restoration of the BTC's statutory financial entitlements to the status quo before the creation of the new councils, including the refund of withheld funds, withdrawal of the letter revoking the concession of the Oba Ekenzua, the second cultural center, and its restoration to a suitable condition for its original purpose, which Obaseki rejected all the conditions. Godwin Obaseki is a very wicked man, and he hates the Benins, their traditions and cultures, as well as the occupant of the Benin throne. However, Godwin Obaseki has gone on self-exile, after the expiration of his tenure as governor of Edo State, and he can never step foot into the Benin Kingdom again because he has created a lot of enemies for himself, including the suspended Enigie, who are saying that Obaseki deceived them. What the Enigie did was a coup. According to Mr. Izadawa, the most greedy Enigie among them is the Enigie of Egbi and Saluko. Please sit down and listen to Mr. Izadawa as he explains the suspension of these rebellious Enigie.
Wadomoni wine.
You are welcome.
The kakabo watuwa. I want to thank all of them. I appreciate all of them. Most especially wani wa mobo wa gbina. Edo. Itan ya ekpe bere ya. Emi having aya bodo. One of the 4 pillars na ya bodo or a matter. No women. Niki simyosege nedu. Igwatoge. I have never been found lying. Everything that is playing out today, I warned is Enigie. I warned, I begged. Because I don't need to even be a prophet. All I know all this while is that I have studied Benin history so well. I have studied Benin history so well. And the history, Emi yanosunuwe otedowe denena, okasunu subava, ubaha, ubane, ne, some 200 years ago, some 400 years ago, some 600 years ago. It is always the same result. Edogia Weria. Nobody has ever fought the Oba of Benin and succeeded. Nobody. If they are not thinking they bore and the useless democracy, what they now call democracy, will not make a sitting governor more powerful than the Oba of Benin. They don't understand Benin. One of the things that I would suggest to the palace is that I came on my Enigie. I can be 6 months in a Wegwa. I Maya Ohagedo. Most of the Enigie, Nigi give Utedo Vedenena, Wabini Atohedo Rockba. A lot of them don't know. If they have known the history of this land, they will not try it. People deceive. You can only deceive an ignorant man. I have some lawyers, lawyers that deceive them, including Notiaro Sadebe or even that deceive them. They are not acquainted with the history of the land. If they are acquainted with the history of the land, they would have understood that it's a journey of no return. So it was a minute there, I tried to tell them that you cannot win this thing. Because I also saw that the person, you were Kena, 8 years. You cannot fight a 2000 and over 2060 years old institution who has gone through all manner of onslaughts. These are relics of past history. So because I understand this, I try to tell them that so the pain is that we eventually have what I have warned them of, Ogile Sunu. They are deserving of the suspension. Because when you commit a treasonable offense, there must be a penalty. Or money. So, in as far, I'm not happy that it ended this way. But the truth is that if it doesn't end this way, so there must be a penalty when you commit an offense, when you commit a treasonable offense, what I would call coup d'etat Here pass succeed. In Atana. So they committed an offense which is unforgivable. Any Oba that forgives what they committed, he is further reducing the relevance of the throne. They had the baby down what is 10, 20 years. Okawe Shunu, we go by while no carry. Almost 600 years. Some chiefs rebelled against Prince Ogun, Nodorio Baiwai the first. Ogirio Banen. He wiped the first generation off. He wiped. When he planned the coup. Anna Diana again. And he replaced these chiefs because all these chiefs anyway they were hereditary. Ona replacing Aya with Irian Odion. So Emani Wonona, they are not to be forgiven. That is Emani Gele Sote. They are not to be forgiven because if you forgive them, that is Emani when he has the donor Emani Gele Sote.
Acabou.
Emanigele Sote. So so they have to pay for the penalty of the atrocity that they committed. Every Enigie were suspended except the former Enogie of Igban. Egwama suspend on him. What Egwa have said is that in perpetuity, Ogede Egbere Oni. Igban Siloko. So that means Ogede Oni. Because he's the leader of the atrocity, because of his greed. Emani is a greedy bastard. I'm sorry I'm using the word. Nyodo siabi innocent Enigie ni mati okma eva na we mati ranyemi. Nyodo siafio. Because he was a greedy bastard. And that same Enogie Egwai empower us. That same former Enogie Egwai empower us. Egwai made him the chairman of all the Enigie in Edo South, and at one point in time, Egwana made him to have a status of a traditional ruler. Nyoi represent Monoba, Badwiko, no kind traditional ruler, the South and in Nigeria. That useless man led a coup against the palace. So the offense he has committed is an unpardonable sin. Is an unpardonable offense because you only did the coup against the palace. So Kien Kivie. Hello, when it's on.
Yes, it was minuta.
Hello. Sorry, call tell Larry. So Kien Kivie ke generations of they will. Hello.
My wife minuta.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna tell I call it Larry. So
go ahead.
So it's an unpacking he has put, because of his greed, his avarice for wealth, for relevance, for political relevance, he has denied his generations unborn a very a very constituted right of privilege. And I went further to say that if a president honor Gema as an ambassador to represent him on a diplomatic mission, then another time the president, even my only adwagwe president, me, commissioner selected by the governor is not telling the governor that he wants to be independent from him. The governor is not coming out to say, no wahala, but you are no longer a commissioner. Let me see how, if you are no longer a commissioner, let me see how you intend to have the power that you think you now possess. So these are the issues. These are the issues. So the offense that they have committed is an unforgivable offense. I will not say that the palace, it is, I have no say on this matter. It is at the prerogative of His Royal Majesty whether to forgive them or not. But it will be a very difficult thing. The Mayayi will give the guy forgiving him. The Mayayi. So if anybody is asking question today, that will they be forgiven? It is not in my place as a master in Zoduwa, and it is not in any other person's place, no matter how high placed or not. No metini or my hero will tunwang bona no metini no meba do have no monoba forgiving or not. People that ordinarily supposed to do good with it, but some of them, because of their corruption, they will know here and fear warrior and come and give a bad report. So I will not have a hand in that, because all that Izodua fought for was a united Benin Kingdom, a Benin Kingdom that stands and represents truth and uprightness, a Benin Kingdom that represents integrity and honesty. Nike Binanedo, I have never taken money from anybody. Imari coded there. So I also will not tolerate anybody using the name of the palace for corruption. So Nigele Sotewominita, I don't think His Royal Majesty, in His infinite wisdom, will forgive them. Because what they try to do is a coup d'etat, worse than 1897 invasion. The 1897 invasion, but these are enemies within. Ofenorowa. So there must be dealt with in a way that it will forestall future occurrences. So if I have my way, I wouldn't even want His Royal Majesty to forgive those Nigele Sotewo. The Nigele Sotewo